Oh, is it recording?
This is recording. Yeah, we're
All right.
officially good to go. So, nice to meet you, Youngwoo.
Nice to
Um,
meet you.
Thanks for reaching out. And yeah, let's get started.
All right, let's get started. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm a rising freshman at Binghamton University as a business administration major. I am starting a company called Metis. That's the reason why I even started social media. And yeah, it's like that's about it. If you wanna go ahead and yeah, if you wanna introduce yourself, you know. Oh wait, I haven't wrote here. Wait, yeah, your name, what you do, a little bit about your story of how you got to where you are today, and what you aspire to be.
Sure. I grew up in the East Bay, or I'm Andy. I grew up in the East Bay. I've always been more of a humanities type of person, but in the craze of software engineering, early 2010s or mid 2010s to early 2020s, I kind of got pulled into software engineering, and it was more of a choice on me. Do I want to make a lot of money or not? So I ended up doing that. I don't think I'm good at software engineering, but I did go to Berkeley for CS. I graduated 2 years ago. On the side, I've always been more of an educational person. Helping students apply to college. And I've been a college counselor for 4 years now. And I used to work at an agency, but this is my first year doing it by myself, which is why now I have a brand and I'm posting content on Instagram and TikTok. So, yeah. Um, who do I want to become? So, that is a question I think about a lot. Um, you know, Eventually, I think I want to get my brand to a point where it's trusted by a lot of families nationwide, and I could have a really good track record of let's say I would say like 1,000 students for now, um, and really be like a big name on the college counselor admissions space. So yeah.
Wait, why do you choose like college admission space? Because I feel like if I graduated from college, I would like stop caring too much about like the college aspect and move on to like career and goals and jobs and stuff like that.
Careers and goals and jobs, right? Well, I work at a tech company, and it's not really like it's more like I am like the student there, because there's like these old guys that kind of run the company and stuff. And I thought to myself, at the end of the day, I'm not like someone who's super passionate about computer science, right? And I mean, that partly comes from I'm not good at it, but also it's just because like I just don't want to be like stuck at a desk job my entire life, and I'd rather be out there like influencing young minds. And why did I choose college counseling out of all of the other educational career paths available? Is because I just feel like college counseling is like a subject where there's not much that is known. And I think if you can combine some aspects of the tech world with college counseling, you can streamline the process and make it so much more transparent for people. Um, because like there's other educational content or educational like career paths, right? Like you can be a professor, like even SAT boot camp prepping or something. It's already laid out for you. There's already like so many resources. But college counseling, I feel like nobody knows, and everybody thinks it's a lottery when, and we'll get into this later, I don't think it is. So
Right. If only I met you 1 year earlier, I could have gone counseling myself.
yeah. Hey, if you're trying to transfer anywhere, I got you.
Oh yeah, transferring exists. I forget about that.
Yeah. People sleep on the transfers, man. It's like,
Is transfers harder?
no,
Would you
actually, I
say?
think it's easier. There's less people even trying to transfer because like nobody like, when you get through 2 years of
Mm.
college, people are like, I don't want to do it because like I already have so many friends here, and like I'm used to
Oh,
this
that makes
life.
sense.
Yeah, but I've seen people transfer from like, I don't know, UC Riverside to like Stanford.
Okay, all right,
It's
yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're still in a little bit of introductions. So you said you went to Berkeley for CS. Why'd you choose Berkeley, right? Compared to all the other colleges, unless of course
Yeah.
like if Berkeley's like the only college you apply to, but like,
No, I mean I got into some other schools, so
uh,
I I mean Berkeley CS, like I just thought, you know, Big Four CS, and also I
sure,
got a
yeah.
scholarship there, so and it's also like it's pretty close to where I grew up, like in the East Bay. Actually, I was considering UC Irvine at the beginning. All my friends from high school went to UC Irvine, and you know, back then I was a little bit of an introvert. Like I was like, oh, I want to go with my friends and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like Berkeley CS. So I'm glad I made the decision I did, and it's definitely helped me in my career a lot. This school. Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
How about you? Why did
Uh,
you choose SUNY?
SUNY Binghamton, yeah. This is the only school I got into.
Uh,
Yeah. It I applied to like a lot of schools, 20, I think ish. That's what like I was told by like the counselors. Like you should apply to that many, right?
mm,
With most of it being reaches with like a couple safeties,
yeah.
right? So and I guess I got waitlist to like majority of them. And then, waitlist leads to rejection at the end. So, but like uh yeah, I mean, I think the main problem was I didn't know what I was interested in, I think, because there were so many variety of interests I had. Like, I did research in neurobiology, but then most of my advanced courses were all in math. And then, like, independent projects were all in CS and so on, right? So I applied to different majors for, like, different schools. Like, I applied to one major to this school, major to this school, major to this school, and I think maybe it was not cohesive with like who I was because like I didn't choose what I wanted to do yet, right? So
Mm. Yeah,
now
that's
I'm
definitely
pretty
a
set
factor.
on business. Hmm?
I see. I see.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that that's definitely a factor. I think. But, yeah. Were you ever thinking about transferring, or are you content with where you are?
I haven't thought that far, but well, I haven't even started school, so I don't even know if I like the place or not, right? So I
Mm.
have to go and see if I like it. But
Mm. Okay, that's true.
but I think I'm set on the major though, on business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
hmm
yeah. Business is nice. All right.
So the next question is, if your high school self saw you today, what would surprise him the most?
Mm. Yeah, so like I said before, I was a pretty introverted guy in high school. I only kind of did what was in front of me, and I'm not like those other guys who, you know, went out of their way to like go to ISEF and like do all these competitions and research. My parents kind of like saw something I didn't, and they like forced me to do like a lot of the ECs I ended up doing. So, um, yeah, so definitely like being active in my community and my career is one of the things that would surprise my high school self the most. I always thought I would be a reflection of my father, who would just be working a corporate 9 to 5. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. You know, he got by and he supported all of us, so that's nice. But definitely like rising more than I needed to, and I'm trying to do that. So yeah. Oh, and then the other thing is like making content, especially educational content. Um, I definitely didn't think I'd be in a position, especially since I never like did any tutoring at all, that I'd be helping younger students. So that's also another thing. Yeah.
You seem pretty passionate about education. So,
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think, you know, it's the kids that are like the future minds of this world, right?
right.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know. That's just always been that's been a passion of mine. Like, not in high school, because like I hated kids in high school, but like, you know, talking to some kids in college, like, okay, honestly, college counseling wasn't even like I didn't go out of my way to like try to get a college counseling job. It's more of like a friend like referred me to their agency, and I was like shadowing under like this really like pro college counselor at a time, and then I actually thought it was pretty interesting, so I started like working there at the agency, and like, you know, like I thought I'd put my skills to use, like with the essay writing and stuff. I think I've always been pretty good at essays, and then I looked more into like the college counseling process, and I realized that, you know, it's actually pretty easy to get down correctly, I think.
Okay. All right, let's get deep into college admissions now, because that's like your main thing, right?
All right.
So, starting with first question, is going to an Ivy League actually worth it compared to like a public state flagship university? What benefits do you think they really give?
Okay, that's a good question. So, the Ivy Leagues, right? When people think of Ivy Leagues, they think of branding, right? Just like when you think of a company, you think of branding. Like, no one cares about, is Louis Vuitton, like, what material is it made out of, right? Like, how was it made? Like, was it ethical? No one cares about that stuff. It's all about
They
the
just care about the
branding.
name.
Yeah, exactly. In recruiting, right? Better schools make you more appealing as an applicant. Whether or not the education is actually better at a Ivy League than a public state flagship, like a top tier public state flagship, is very up to debate, right? Things change every year. But consistently, Harvard has always been the best brand university in the United States. And I see this especially around my software job. Like, my boss was particularly impressed by my school name, which is, you know, Cal. And
Cool.
not every recruiter is going to be like this, you know, but people are just going to be more biased towards your application if the brand name kind of goes along with it. And educationally, you know, like I said, they have the same reputation as top tier public flagships. It's not really about the Ivy League so much more as it's about the ranking. So, you know, you got MIT, is a good school. It's not an Ivy top tier school. So is Stanford. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The name value, the prestige that it follows with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
pretty
That's
big
what
deal.
yeah, just you know, looking around me, like, yeah, it's definitely like, and people just like if you say you went to like Stanford or Harvard, they're immediately going to like think of you differently than if you said you went to, you know, community college and then transferred to like UC Irvine, right? It's more like the clout or like the ego boost you get from that. And actually the recruiters know it too. They'll be like, okay, this guy is smart, he went to Harvard. So it's not about Ivy Leagues, it's more about top tier schools.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It's just I personally think, because I work at FedEx to get money as a package handler, so I'd like take boxes out of the trucks and then put it back in. And then one of the kids there I met is also going to BU this year with me as a rising freshman. But he was like, oh, I'm like 26 though, like, right? And I'm like, why are you going to college so late? And he goes, well, I didn't have money to go to college, so I ended up going to community college a little later, and then I worked every day I did like 4 jobs. And he was like, and then I finally had enough money to like get my life going, and then I wanted to go to college, and so I went to, after I finished the 2 years in community college, now I'm coming to BU, right? And so and that makes me think like, oh, that was like pretty impressive to me as the circumstances he was given, right? Because I feel like majority of the people who go to Harvard had a fantastic environment to work in, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's a couple people who were like, you know, those like low income, like Questbridge applicants, like there's a couple like that, right? So, because I applied through Questbridge too, They took me for college prep scholars program, and then they said no for finalist.
Oh,
But like, so I just think if you're not like one of those low income, majority of the people who go to these Ivy Leagues, they were like given a better circumstance, right? So
mhm.
I feel like
Yeah,
shouldn't,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I've worked with like students older than me before, and you know, it's definitely like interesting to see everybody's circumstances. I will say like if you went to community college, like you would have to like transfer out. I mean, if you're like older, because they want to see like recent coursework, which is really interesting actually. But yeah, I, I've seen everything. I've seen like 28-year-old college applicants, and
Oh yeah.
everybody deserves an equal chance. Yeah.
All right. So this is a follow-up question. If you got accepted to Harvard, but zero scholarship, meaning you paid full everything, and you also got accepted to your state school for 100% full ride scholarship, what would you choose?
Mm. Okay, so we need to look at other factors, right? The Ivy Leagues are pretty expensive. I personally was not going to commit to the Ivy Leagues I got into um, because of the stuff I was saying earlier. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
get into Harvard, but if I did, I probably would have thought about it. I think Berkeley CS is still better for me, so I probably would have went to Berkeley anyways. But for the general populace, I think it's about what you're looking for in Harvard in general. So you can meet wealthy families and get connections at Harvard. A lot of rich people go to Harvard. They are more prominent in the Ivy Leagues. Law school and med school is another factor. Do you want to meet very prestigious, people on the East Coast? Whether or not it's worth the price is up to the student, and you might go to Harvard and not have any of those things working out for you. So it is like just something you have to think about. Um, but for me personally, I chose Berkeley because I think people there are more aligned with my interests.
Oh, okay. So like finding what college is fit for you is like more important.
Yes, it is about the
Mm.
fit, and it's you can't really research that. It's like you just have to like ask people what they think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because nowhere on the website do they say we're this type of school where we have this type of people.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Yeah. And actually what I've heard is that the Harvard people like they're really stuck up. Like they don't invite people into their circle, Like all the rich people, like they got their own friend groups. Like if you're just an average guy that like, was an overachiever in high school, so you're not an average guy because you got into Harvard, but like people like you and me, right? Like if we got into Harvard and we like we're trying to like make our rich connections, like you don't just like get invited, Like you have to like be
Uh,
very good at like talking to people and like making friends to like be able to get into circles like that. So, yeah.
oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
got their little rich circle going
Exactly.
on.
Yeah. The average student is going to have like yeah, they're just going to pay like a lot of money for, research opportunities, and I mean sometimes it's worth it if you have like that stuff to spend. Other times, maybe yeah, people just don't realize. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't know how far to the extent rich people could do to get into college. Like I've seen like on the news where someone took their SAT, ACTs for them, or like like you paid someone to like get publications out so that they can start resume and CV maxing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you? I don't know why there's professors that would get paid to like, all right, let me make you a first author paper for you to a top tier journal, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like how do these things happen? How rich can you get that like?
This, I mean, I don't know exactly what they do, but from what I've seen, there are college counseling agencies that do stuff like this. And I think what they do is they take your name, or you first pay them the small price of $50,000 to $100,000, and what they'll do is they'll take
Small
your name.
prize.
Yeah, yeah, right. I mean, small price for a rich person. They'll take your name and they'll put it into they have connections at like research facilities and companies, and they'll take your name and then they'll put it into their system, and all you have to do is say on your resume like you did this, this, and this, and like you didn't, but your name is already in the system. So like even if the AOs try to fact check, like they'll find that you did go there and do that research and work there. So it's literally just to get into college, and it's like the stupidest thing ever, but people have their methods of getting in.
Oh, yeah.
And also like there's legacy students, right? And
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
right.
the median income for Ivy Leagues are just higher than regular schools. So it's like a correlation causation kind of thing. You don't really know. Like the legacy students tend to be richer and richer people, and legacy students like have a much higher chance of getting into Harvard. So yeah,
That's true.
there's that.
I heard about this. I knew a guy who went to Rice University back then, and he's like, back when I was in high school, one of my close friends, he had a 2.5 GPA in high school, but his family is a five generation Dartmouth like family. So he just got into Dartmouth with this 2.5 GPA like, and he was like, he was like, I tried like so hard in high school to get into Rice, and we got someone over here just getting into just Dartmouth like that. It's
You
like,
say he got into Rice or he got rejected from Rice?
he got into Rice, yeah. That's the school he went to.
Oh, he went to Rice. Sorry.
Yeah, for undergrad. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
spent his
That's
whole
really
high
nice.
school trying so hard to get in, and he sees
Yeah.
his friend just like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It is really unfair, but I don't know. I guess people just have like different advantages and disadvantages.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think once you like get into college, you'll realize like, or this is for everybody out there, but how little it actually matters.
You're right,
I
yeah.
think. I think.
We gotta get that message across to the high schoolers who are just like only obsessed with college. Because I feel like so many high
Yeah.
schoolers don't do what they love anymore. They do what they're
Yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to do.
Yeah, it's like in high school, the only thing you think about is applying to college, and then college, the only thing you apply or think about is applying to jobs. And like once you like have your job after college, like what do you even do anymore? You just like, yeah, you have nothing to think about. Maybe like getting married and having a family, or maybe starting a business. Like that's when people actually have the freedom to decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next question is kind of related to what you said about the prestige, right? Because you said a lot of it is the prestige value that these Ivy Leagues give. So if I blindfolded employers and removed the college name from every resume, what percentage of an Ivy League's value disappears, you think?
All of it. I mean,
All of it?
okay. There's
So
okay.
like,
Yeah. A lot of it. I mean, there's stuff that isn't quantifiable, right? Like you got like the connections, the access to research opportunities. But purely from a resume standpoint, the education between the Ivies and the top tier public schools is marginal. So, some flagships even have better education than the Ivy League. So like, Berkeley CS versus like Vanderbilt, right? So I would say all of the value disappears from purely a resume standpoint.
okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Because, what is it? I had a friend whose dad used to be a professor at Harvard. Now he's a professor at University of Kentucky. But he said that from his personal experience, right? It's like if I had to compare like the top three smartest kids in my class when I was at Harvard compared to the top three smartest kids at University of Kentucky, then he's like, I don't really see much difference, is what he said. Because he
Yeah.
was like, there might be a bigger population of smarter people at the Ivy League compared to a public university, right? because it's like easier to get into a public university, so
Mm.
average people get into. But he was like, but if you put the top percentage, right, there's gonna be the smartest people in any group you put in, and there's not really much difference, is what he noticed. And also in terms of the resources, if you put a top public flagship school, which I mean, I don't think University of Kentucky isn't even that high, but like he was like comparing it to University of Kentucky to Harvard resources. He was like, in terms of like research or whatever it is, he was like, it doesn't lack too much. Like, and he's like, and also the fact that the demand is so much higher at Harvard because everyone's trying to do research, compared to that, like ratio wise, like he was like giving an example with computers. Even if Harvard has 10 computers and UK has 2 computers, right? But if there's 30 people want to use the computers at Harvard, but there's only one person who want to use the computer at this public university, then like technically the resources are better at this public university, is what he told
Yeah,
me.
yeah. Wait, no, that is so true because like at the higher tier schools, like there aren't that many research opportunities available because like everybody's trying to do it.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's a really good point actually. Um, yeah, and okay, the other thing, right, is that people that go to Harvard, they tend to be more academically inclined anyways, right? So, you have people that like the average Harvard student is going to be more aggressive, I feel like, than the average
Hmm.
University of Kentucky student.
Right.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But like if they have the same amount of like motivation, like they want to go out of their comfort zone to like explore research opportunities, you know, like get an internship, then I would say they can do that without the use of their school. And that's
Yeah.
why, yeah, what you were saying about the top 3 students, like I feel like it's just about how much the top 3 students care.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. It's a good question though.
All right. Moving on. Next question. Biggest lie students believe about college admissions, if there is any. I mean, there's probably a lot of lies, but what's like the biggest lie that
The
people
biggest
believe about
lie,
it?
and I see this myth being echoed all over Reddit and all over TikTok comments and Instagram comments, whatever, right? The biggest lie is that college admissions are a lottery. So, there's certain amounts of luck involved, but I've reviewed, the documents like Harvard versus SFFA. Do you know that?
No.
Students of Fair Admissions. This is the anti-discrimination lawsuit
Oh, yeah.
that they had back in, what was it, 2023.
Yeah,
Um,
I know about that, yeah.
and in that document, they released the actual factors that matter in admissions. Um, and it's not just about, race. It's about like what they're looking for. And what research found, or what the documents basically said, or like what we concluded, is that if you meet a certain criteria for like your EC level, like did you win an international award, do you have a spike, do you meet the GPA and SAT like median requirements, you have like a 70% chance of getting into the school, or like 70% of students that met those requirements got into the school. So it's not really a lottery. I mean, it's a lottery because there's the 30% chance that you didn't get in, but also that could just be like you wrote terrible essays. So you don't really know, but like it's not a lottery because it's strongly correlated that if you have certain aspects of your application that are appealing, you will get into the school. And the other thing is, okay, it could be a lottery as in, you might not be what they were looking for that year, which does happen to some people. Or maybe like that year there was a large number of students in your specific niche. But then I guess how you define a lottery, how normal people define a lottery is like it's random. Like we don't know whether or not like you have a chance, but you do know actually. And if you apply to 20 schools, and you have like a certain spike, you're not going to get rejected by all the schools. So it's not a lottery. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I also agree that it's not luck based completely, right? Like
Yeah.
it's if you strategically write and your application a certain way, this is probably a good way to get in.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like
yeah.
you can get lucky, you can get unlucky, but it's not a lottery.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Ah, it's not a lottery.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I see so many people saying it like, "Oh my God, like college admissions is so random. Like this person got so lucky," or like,
Oh yeah, I heard that so much, man, my
yeah, yeah,
senior
but
year of high
like,
school.
but no, they didn't. They did something right, and or someone did something wrong, and it's like,
They fit the criteria that they had at that school, yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Which, like, I wish they gave out the rubric so that every student could. Oh, then I feel like then it's gonna get even more competitive. Because people
Then
are gonna fill out
everyone's going
that.
to be doing the right thing, and no one's gonna. It'll
You're
actually be a
right, you're right.
lottery if you
Well, but
compete
that's
against.
the.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but that's the thing. There shouldn't be a rubric to like rank people based off of their quality as a
Okay,
student. Like,
it's interesting. So think about like what types of people the admissions officers are, right? Like if they're like doctors and like, you know, professional like researchers in their field, they wouldn't be looking at a essay written by a 17-year-old, right? These are just like average guys who like were humanities majors or like they know something about essays and then
mhm.
they got hired to like this admissions board where they get to read thousands of essays come college application season, and their main purpose in life is to find a student that will somehow make a meaningful change in the world using whatever school they work at's education. You know, if
Somehow.
someone gets
Okay.
into Harvard, if a Harvard admissions officer admits a student that somehow, makes a $1 billion company, then their biggest satisfaction in life is saying like I was part of that person's, journey to become this $1 billion CEO. And that's like so they're going to look at someone's application and they're going to make that judgment. This guy is going places, and then they'll let you in.
Mm, and that's a very hard thing to show that you have potential through just
Exactly.
essays and lists.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can get some idea. Like, does someone actually have like a problem they want to solve? Like, if so, it's like I feel like I can look at an application and I can be convinced. You have to think about it from an AO standpoint.
Right,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and
Uh,
it becomes like, and then the rubric isn't so much like defined as it is like there's not really a rubric. Um, there's no like checklist. Like, does this kid have, you know, 1600, 4.0? Has he received a publication award? Does he have 10 activities? Like, there's no checklist like that. It's like, it's more like,
yeah.
can you convince the AO somehow that you are going to be the next $1 billion CEO?
I think I think that was probably one of my biggest problems because I like personally looked at it like a checklist. I like searched up what you need to do. I think like my junior year, so I was like, okay, let me just fill up the marks that I don't have,
Mm.
right? So I would just like, I'd be like, okay, you need a perfect standardized score. Let me just go get that, okay? And then like, that's literally what I did word by one. Like, okay, you need a lot of research publications. All right, let me go publish some papers, right? And it's
Mm.
like, and then like I did that like list by list, but then like obviously that was not the strat. So
Yeah, I mean, you could be a generalist, Generalist is a viable path. It's more just like, they need students for every category, right? They need a few generalists who don't have like a very big spike in a particular category. And they rely on these types of people to contribute to campus culture. Yeah. And usually, and I would say like those are like 60% of the students that get in anyways, that don't have like a very clear specialty, but they will contribute in meaningful ways. But yeah, maybe that is the biggest lie, is college apps is not a checklist. It's more about defining a story.
Defining a story. I did think that writing the college application was a nice experience because you can reflect on your life, which is one of the reasons I also created a company, because I reflected my life and I was not satisfied. Like, I mean, elementary, middle school, yeah, most of the things you do, your parents tell you, right? Like, that can happen. You're young, right? But then in high school, I didn't do things that my parents tell me. I chose it on my own, but I chose it according to college, right? So I just thought that, like, was I doing the right things? Like, it was mostly just a waste of time doing things that I didn't want to do or need to do, right? Like, apart from, like, the basic stuffs of, like, showing up to class and actually maintaining your GPA and, like, those, like, basic things that a student needs to do, like, they're obligated to do, like, all the extracurricular activities should have been for my passion, right? But, so I just thought, and, like, because you have to write the reason behind everything you've done and stuff in your essay, so I like, had a nice time to reflect on my life for the past 18 years. And know, like, okay, I need to change what I'm doing and do what I want to do, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you're having that realization and actually, like, you know, going out of your way to, like, do something, you know. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are unhappy with where they ended up or what their life is, and they just, like, don't want to do anything, but, like, and that was honestly not me. I think you're similar to me, where it's like, if I'm unhappy with something, like, I'll try, like, my hardest to, like, change it.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
We are, like, 30 minutes in, and we are, like, now, I'll skip question 6. Let's go to the next question about research in high school. I had a whole section for this because, like, I think my spike was research, because, like, I didn't have any Olympiad awards or anything, because, you know, that's, like, extremely hard to get, and, like, I tried for A and C, and, you know, I failed miserably, or, like, so I stuck with research, because, like, with research, if you put in enough effort, you can get outcomes, right? Maybe not, like, ISEF, because that's also a competition, but, like, in terms of, like, research outcomes-wise, like, you can get good results from, like, pure effort. I think I had, like, over 50 presentations, because I was just grinding, right? And also it's nice because my professor was a workaholic. He'd be like, I'm up at 5, you can come in the lab at 5 a.m. and I'm here till 10 p.m. So I think I had, like, 14-hour days in the lab for, like, a weekend, and then I got a paper out in one weekend, right? Like he was there to supportive enough to, because he worked so much that, like, he was able to work with me, but, like, I just thought enough effort can get you enough outcomes, so research is what I stuck with a lot. So that's why I want to talk a little bit about research, and especially for STEM majors, because I was going to be a STEM major in either CS or math or, like, engineering, except I changed now. But so here's, like, the first question. What do admission officers actually think when they see a student that has, like, numerous research publications and presentations and, like, just research outcomes in general, right? Like, do they, like, are they actually impressed by that? Or, like, because, like, so many students do research nowadays that I feel like it's not even impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they see a lot. Sometimes it can even define an application positively and negatively. I think of research as, you know, like, I would, like, thinking of, like, a project. So the more, like, low meaning projects you have, it might actually negatively impact your application, because it's like, what is this guy doing? And you don't want to, like, LARP being in research and being in, like, a project either, and saying you have, like, minimal contributions, like being in, like, a bunch of clubs, like LARPing, being in clubs and, like, not even, you know, making anything out of it. But where it can very positively affect you is if you have 1 or 2 very high impact research where you know, where you got the award, you got like the publication, and you're one of the main authors. And if it's a prestigious publication avenue, then you're set for college admissions, I think. And it has to align with like kind of like the whole story you're telling with your application too. Like, you know, you cared about a problem in your major or your field, and you worked to solve it, or you did research for it, and you got the payoff, like you got the publication, and I think it's very good for an application.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about those negative aspects. Right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I would say the same thing like applies to, yeah, just like projects and clubs. It's like they don't want to see someone that's a generalist, honestly. They want to see someone that's very focused on one specific thing, you know?
My biggest problem. I didn't even, because like, there's not even space in the Common App, so I didn't even write all my publications down, except for Caltech, I think. Because Caltech is like weird. They have like this, they just love research so much that they make you write an essay for each publication or something. that was
Wait,
that was
yeah, I heard about
difficult. That was very difficult for me, but like, yeah, so, okay, so I did not think of the negative aspects that, oh, you could see it that way. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It goes back to the whole thing about the checklist student, right? A lot of students think like, oh, I have to get research. So they just like try to do all this stuff. But that's not, I mean, an admissions officer, like they've seen people like that. And it's not like very special at the end of the day. Remember what I was saying about potential? Like, once they get into college, like the admissions officer, like, what do you think it'll come off as? Like, oh, this guy, like, what does he care about? You know, like, where are his allegiances? So I don't think it's very compelling to have a bunch of, you know, stuff. Yeah.
This is good advice for future high school students who are
Yeah.
just spamming research.
Yeah. Don't be a LARPer, you know.
Don't be a LARPer. Well, speaking of LARPers, I think one of my first videos was on LARPing, if you saw it. And it was about... wait, what was it about? Oh, I think it was about LinkedIn LARPing, right?
People do that.
Right, but what is it? The kid who was at the regional science fair, like, that was next to me, like, a couple years back, he was like... what did he say? He said he invented CRISPR technology. You know what CRISPR?
CRISPR.
It's like because he did bio research.
Okay. No, I don't know what this is. But...
Yeah. So he blatantly just goes, so I invented this new technology, and I'm like, if you invented it, buddy, you should be winning a Nobel Prize right now, not in a high school regional competition. But the graders are like high school science teachers or social studies teachers who knows nothing. So they're like, this guy's good because he's so confident when he lies too. Like, and like, I think he actually ended up winning one of the international awards too. At the
International award?
Yes. I forgot. But he won one of the, I think, like third or second place or something at the ISEF, right?
That's crazy.
And I was like, so like not even half, like 90% of ISEF is just confidence, like.
Yeah, I can't say I know many international ISEF winners, but I can say like words really move an audience more than the actual
That's
content.
true. Yeah. Speaking of that, let's get into the next question, which is independent research, right? Because so many of kids I've seen now, this was probably not true for your generation, at least, because there wasn't AI that developed at the time.
Yeah.
But now that there is AI, kids start doing things called independent research without a mentor or a professor, where they just like generate complete AI slop. And they're like, I conducted my research, when they spent like 2 minutes typing in a prompt and then got a paper out or like a poster out of it. And like, because like if you submit presentation into a conference, you're most likely going to get it. And like, so there's so many independent projects that are going on, especially for ISEF, because like then they're like talking about all these things that could of these research things when like the whole thing was generated by AI, and their whole script was also generated by AI. And like, as a college admissions like point of view, what do you think they see? Because don't they like know, like, because if a professor sees this high school work, they can just automatically tell this is like some nonsense, right? From apart from a professional peer review publication, like they can tell, right? So what do the college admissions think about it?
So independent research, right? I think for the most part, AOs can tell it's like BS most of the time.
Okay.
Unless you have a part of your research that an AI could not have come up with on its own. And how do you tell? Well, stuff where you have to go out there and gather data yourself. And also, like, impact, right? Like, who cares if something is AI, as long as it, like, there was an actual outcome and, like, it's being used for something, right? So, or, like, it can be used for something meaningful. Like, you've proven that. And these are, like, usually the most convincing, and it's genuinely something that AI just can't do on its own. But as for like AI slop ones where you can like print out a paper, like you actually overestimate. We can get this later, or we can talk about this later. But a lot of people overestimate AI as well. And yes, it can do some things, but I don't think research is necessarily one of its strengths, because research involves data, right? And the stuff that the AI is usually trained on is like old data. Like, it doesn't get dates right. It doesn't get like whatever, right? A lot of times you have to manually find all this data, and it's not you will see if you try to use AI for, you know, independent research, that a lot of stuff you end up having to do on your own anyways, and AI can only get you like 30% of the way there. But I will say there are low entry fields. There are low barriers to entry fields, like, you know, econ is one of them. You have like theoretical math, where, you know, AI gets you more than something else, like, you know, I don't know, like civil engineering, for example. But I don't think AOs are looking for that. They're just looking for like a student who follows a research protocol. They drive an investigation, and they like shape a project or a paper, and whether or not it's independent, honestly, doesn't matter. But also, it's more uncommon to see a student produce something meaningful without the guidance of a professor.
Okay, this is nice, interesting things. It's just, I made a research group in high school, had around 50 people. There was 200 kids in that school, so like, the quarter of the kids joined, and we would help them get started, find a mentor, get presentations out. So we would, as a group, apply, like if there's like a group of same majors or same research fields, we would get them to apply to a certain conference, get them going there as a group, and you know, we even did a collaborative paper as a review paper together too. That's currently in review, but because, you know, there's juniors that are still in high school
really
that
cool.
if they want their papers, right? So I always like was passionate about like getting these people, like, so many do it so wrong, that I want them to like know that like it can be really helpful in your life. Like it's fun to do, like to actually discover new things. Like you don't need to only think about college when doing research. Like it can genuinely be a very interesting thing to do in your life, right? So that's what I wanted kids to do, right? So that's
yeah. So it's like a club you made in high school that's kind of still like a thing.
Yeah, my sister is still in high school, so now she has taken over. Yeah, and she's a senior now, so she's applying to colleges. So But yeah, she took over since I just graduated. But yeah,
Yeah,
we.
that's sick. Yeah, a lot of people like they don't really know how research kind of goes, and like a lot of people like don't have the motivation or the drive to like start it on their own. But if you can like get people to do it, just like find stuff for them, then actually it could be like very successful. Yeah.
Um. All right, let's move on to the next topic of AI and education.
Okay.
All right. If two essays were equally good, but one was written with AI and one wasn't, should colleges care? Because at this point, I just feel like it's like even hard to tell, like with customizing your chatbots to like your writing styles, and like
Yeah.
people who know how to use it, they can edit it in a way that like sounds authentic while using help from AI. Do you think like is it even ethical, right?
Mm. Mm. Well, no, to answer your question, and colleges don't care because well, let me start off by saying AI writing is bad, okay? Like an experienced writer, especially AOs, could tell if essays were written like by AI. And if the style of the writing is so bad that it looks AI generated, like you could even just have bad writing, like that looks AI generated. And they will care because it's bad. But AI essays AI essays that are polished, brainstormed, or like AI assisted, it's getting like really hard to tell uh, if it was actually AI or not. And colleges know that, right? They completely stopped the witch hunt. There's no point in trying to see if it's AI, like trying to dig deeper into to seeing if the essay is AI or not. Some colleges like have completely gotten rid of their supplementals, right? Like Georgia Tech, and
Oh, they have?
yeah,
I'm not know
starting
about
this
it.
year, Georgia Tech doesn't have supplemental anymore. It's just the common personal statement. Yeah,
Lucky.
because yeah, they realized that like a supplemental essay is not a good indicator of whether or not um, an applicant is qualified or not, especially in the age of AI where the barrier of entry of getting a good essay is so low because of all the tools out there that exist that
Mhm.
it's just not.
So what do they look at? What does Georgia Tech look at instead?
Well, probably what they'll do is they'll I mean the other factors just way more, right? Like your ECs and your grades and your test scores. I think it's going to be ECs because you can't just I mean you we were talking about research earlier, but AI can't come up with a narrative for your life and what you're going to your trajectory for life and what you're going to do in college, right? That's still um, up to you and like do your ECs tell a defining story is basically what it is.
So they just basically want to know, because ECs are what takes up your time throughout your week. So
Yeah,
they want to know how you spend your day-to-day life is what's
exactly.
important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, let me ask you this. So, if two essays were equally good and one of them was written with the help of a college admissions expert or an XAO and one wasn't, they were entirely written by the student, would should colleges care?
I feel like they should, because I've seen what college counselors can get. I've seen my friends who have spent like they're so expensive. I think they spend like 80,000 for a college counselor or something.
Jesus.
And like I mean, it got results. So
Yeah.
like compared to like I've known friends who are like super duper smart, and like they've done what they wanted to do in their life, but like writing's not their strength in a way. Like one of them is like really good at math, and the other one's really good at physics. They're two of my friends, very very good at them. Like with math, you since you're a CS major, you would know. Like he's taken PDEs, differential equations, like I think
Mm.
almost enough math that with only one semester's worth of math classes left before he gets a bachelor's in math. Like that's the amount of like math he took before in high school, right? And like same with the physics guy. Like they were very smart individuals, but none of them ended up like getting into any of the Ivy Leagues or like the T20s or any of those type of sort of schools, because they were so like math and physics oriented, that I guess they're just bad at writing, which like I saw their writing was pretty terrible. So I like, because they just can't write, I guess, in a way that's like appealing. Like with all the grammar mistakes too. I think they didn't have like punctuation for like half of the things. So like, I think with an assistance by a college counselor, like if they had college counseling assistants and they listened to them and like actually fixed their essays to that, I felt like they would have had an insanely better chance. So
Yeah,
like,
I mean, all right. I think, yeah, the isn't AI kind of like a equalizer then? Because people who
that's
don't have
true.
access to the college counseling, like, you think they can use AI to like AI is like so available now that they can use that instead.
That's a good point. That's what I thought that AI could like replace these college counselors a little bit in a way. I mean, obviously having a person to person interaction is more helpful, but like technically, if you're talking about it, AI has as much information as the college counselor does, apart from like personal experiences, to professionally help you if you know how to prompt it properly. But like, I do also think that like 99% of high schoolers don't utilize AI in an efficient manner still.
That is what I think too, actually. Yeah, that was my main message out there. People,
Because it's either, yeah.
like, as a college counselor, right?
Uh-huh.
I can tell you like general advice, but some of these questions are like pretty hyper specific, right, to a certain niche. So, when I don't know everything, so I have to like look it up, right? What do? I just go on ChatGPT. What is the blah 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 blah, and then see what ChatGPT says. Of course I'm just like, ground it in sources and stuff, so I can like research it on my own. But then like, that is literally just AI. Like, and then I tell the student, they're like, oh, but like, they literally could have like found the information on their own using AI. So like, I don't. So. I definitely don't think like college counseling is like going to be a long-term career. I think AI is getting there, Yeah.
So there's gonna be like a personalized AI college counselor chatbot where it's like hyper focused in knowledge for college. Like, then shouldn't the college admission process also reflect that and change to become better?
Well, how can it?
That's true.
I've thought about this.
That's true.
What would they even do? I don't think they can do anything about it. It's like you don't really know like the means of like how someone. I mean, like even before AI, right? You don't know if someone had paid $100,000 to get college help since they were freshmen. You don't know like if someone told them like advice to do like civil engineering research and to apply as a civil engineering major. Like, they could have just like always been interested in civil engineering. Yeah. So, and like trying to look for things like that, like going on this witch hunt, is going to be a waste of time. So that's why your original question, I said no, I don't think they should care, because there were already college admissions counselors that existed. I think AI is just a way to equalize. Yeah.
All right. I mean, I think there won't be a problem with this in Asia, because I mean, I don't know about other countries, but with South Korea, where I'm from, it's all just based off of how smart you are. Like, if you have they have the Korean version of SAT there, right? Which is like infinitely harder, because like only like 3 people in the country get a perfect score. So it's like you can exactly tell, all right, we're getting these students into the top school, and then these next set of students are going to the second best school. Like, it's like pretty set like that in Asia, probably with China too, right? They have their own, I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, is the
Right.
Gaokao, yeah. It's like this
Yeah.
one test that determines your entire life.
I know. It's like, what if you're sick that day? Like, you're just like cooked.
Yeah, you're just cooked. Yeah.
And yeah, which is like, I see that to like, it's nice with the US how they have like this holistic admissions in a way, which like has pros and cons to it. But in a way, I always sometimes think maybe it would have been easier in Asia. All you have to do is just study, study
Yeah.
hard.
Definitely for your friends who you said couldn't write good essays. They would have done well.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
All right, next question. If AI existed when you were applying, how would you have used it?
Yeah. I would have used it like crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I put my
That's
essay.
that's funny because so many of my college counselors I've met are all like, "No, don't use AI. It's bad." That's what all college counselors be saying.
Dude, they are just scared. Is honestly. I
They're
think.
just scared.
Okay, I've talked to college counselors, and the main concern is AI isn't accurate, which is a fair point. But you can prompt it in a way where it doesn't, you know, it finds sources before giving you information. So, and they say like, oh, AI isn't ethical. Well, like, how do you define that? That's not like a, you know, like so what, right?
So what?
Yeah, it's not ethical to, give AI advice to students unless you're just using it to supplement your research, right? Then we don't know how to define what's ethic and what's ethical and what's not.
Right.
So I'm the only college counselor out there, or one of the only ones that will actually tell you should use AI because, like, it'll save like both of you so much time. Like, and even though it's gonna, put my college counseling business out of, or, yeah, put my college counseling out of business one day. I mean, it's good if students are getting equal access to education and, and it's not locked behind that barrier of cost, then I think every student should be able to use AI to help them with their college admissions. But on that note, when I was applying, I didn't have AI, and I put my old essays through ChatGPT, and I found that it can make like a lot of criticisms that I looked over, and a lot of them were pretty valid criticisms. I would have changed my essays to be better. Yeah, but I wouldn't have used it to write the whole thing. I would have changed a few things about my essays. Probably it would have been easier to research professors and write like why school essays. Yeah.
Oh yeah, why school essays? Yeah, because you can do the research for you. Just
Exactly.
scour the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. I think AI is nice.
All right. Yeah.
What about you? Did you use AI in your essays, or not essays, but in your applications?
I asked it for feedback like a million times. I would like just put in the application like essays, right? And I'd be like, because like if you just give it to ChatGPT normally, it would just be like, oh my god, it looks fantastic. It's a 9 out of 10. Like that's what it normally says. But like I needed like criticism, and I didn't have anybody really ask other than like close friends and like family members. So like once you run out of those people, all you got is ChatGPT would do. So I would fix it, give it back to it, fix it, give it back to it, fix it, and it would keep giving me new feedback. And like I just kept fixing it. Whatever they said was just bad, right? And I would make it more harsh, right? Like I don't like you're a bot. I'm not gonna get feelings hurt. So like let me
Yeah.
let me just like get every criticism in the world possible. It's like I think I did. That's what I mainly used it for. But I don't know if that's a good way to use it because it didn't get me good outcomes. But
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's like other things like I don't know if you looked into what I was trying to do, but yeah, definitely AI essay grading is something I'm looking at. And there's a lot of those tools right now. Everybody's like trying to compete for like the market and stuff. Like people like know the potential of it, so people are like all building their own applications. Just like trying to get a good prompt down to like grade essays. That's pretty much what it is. But I think over the next year or 2 years, there's going to be a dominant player that comes out for AI essay grading. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, there's like an AI for everything now. We're just making GPT rappers and rappers for every little
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Hey, GPT rappers aren't inherently bad though, or like inherently useless. I think because
Well,
GPT
yeah,
itself.
that's true.
Yeah, GPT itself just doesn't know, and like whatever you're not gonna like expect someone to like type in like the system prompt for like whatever specialization they want to use ChatGPT for every time. Why don't you just like make a GPT wrapper and like have everybody use it? If it's like easier to use, like why not?
This is like my personal thought, but I just think in the future, because you know how you have to pay API bills for like two, or like because of like if you run out of Claude limit, right, you can pay more. Like even after the max subscription, you can keep using it if you pay more for the credits and the tokens.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe in the future it would just become normalized in a way that like how we pay our electricity bills and water bills and like online and everything. Yes, everyone just pays the AI bills like on a normal basis, or like they get their bill and it's like on the mail and it's like $250 this month for just like AI usage. Like I feel like it's gonna become a normal thing now in the future.
Yeah. Hey, I'm already there, man. I'm like paying the $100 Claude max subscription plan. It's like so useful. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was considering getting it, but I'm like not rich, so like I received the grant instead. It gave me like Gemini Enterprise, and I also have Claude subscription as well now, so it's
Yeah,
good,
that's nice.
and
Yeah.
I think it'll be good for my business to make some agents and stuff.
Make some agents,
So,
yeah. I
yeah.
think, honestly, in my software job, I cannot survive without AI anymore. It's like I've like started relying on it for so many things. It's like I
Oh
don't
yeah,
even
probably.
want to write like I don't even want to write like any code anymore, pretty much.
I saw someone say on a podcast where this one guy was like, what Claude's level is right now can replace that everything a junior software engineer can do. He was like,
Yeah.
there are some things that a senior software engineer can do that Claude still can't do, but it can replace every junior software engineer, is what he was saying. You agree with that?
Yeah, I think I agree with it for the most part. It's like software engineering is dying, and that's because you really don't need to like know the syntax anymore, and you don't even need to like learn the tech stack. It's really just about like, can you write good prompts to kind of get the AI to achieve like what it's trying to do like efficiently, right? I mean, you still need people to look at code though and like review it to like, and also like test it and make sure there's no like huge security vulnerabilities, because Claude does like kind of get that wrong sometimes. But in terms of actually writing the code, yeah, you usually like a junior software engineer would do it back in like 2010s, but that's just not a thing anymore. So, yeah.
But wouldn't, instead of the software engineering dying, wouldn't it maybe change
Yeah,
the way?
that's what I was
Yeah.
trying to say. Yeah, it would
Okay.
change to like, yeah, you still need people reviewing it, testing it, prompting it. But you don't need people like that know how to code pretty much. Like you only need people that know like the infrastructure and like the technology, and like a high level
Yeah.
like view of like what it is. But you don't need people doing low level code anymore. So I think people are still going to hire junior software engineers, I think. Like because of those reasons. I just think that the definition of a junior software engineer, like the skill set you need, is like not the same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Where was I?
Next question.
What's your most controversial AI opinion, if you have any?
Yeah. So my most controversial AI opinion, I don't know if this is like that controversial, but I do not think we should be scared of AI. Because of two reasons. So, I see a lot of comments on TikTok of people saying stuff like, stop using AI, or like, AI is unethical because of environment, because of, replacing jobs. First of all, AI is not as capable as people make it out to be. Every day we hear AI is replacing jobs, but at least in my tech company, we started recently cutting back on AI usage because AI is expensive, and they are starting to see it. And it just doesn't get the accuracy down, right? Like it's inconsistent, it's non-deterministic. You get different results every time, right? Um, and it's not advanced enough to where it'll replace jobs for the most part, right? The biggest jobs being targeted are like software engineers, and even then, like you don't see software engineers getting like completely cut off, right? Because of the stuff I just mentioned. So that is the first reason. I don't think AI is as capable yet. Maybe we'll get there one day, but from the way I see it, AI is getting smarter. It's not getting more consistent. It's not getting less expensive. So there's that. And even if it does replace jobs, like there's going to be a new pool of jobs that are created because of AI. Like think about when cars first came out, people were completely outraged, right? They were saying stuff like, "Oh, you're tearing up the environment," I mean, it kind of was, but like think about the ways we circumvented that, and now cars are just part of our daily life. And this is the same thing for literally every revolutionary technology, like the printing press in the 1400s. So the only people that are scared of AI are the people who will be left behind and who fail to adapt to AI, I think.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
As,
Yeah. What about you? What is your most controversial AI opinion?
What's controversial? I don't know if I have one, but I have a hope that maybe if AI gets so good to the point that it's just like better than humans at like genuinely anything, right? Then like maybe, okay, this is just a maybe thought. It's a thought I had. It's because it's so hyper competitive these days, especially for high school. Everyone's just trying to be better. Like everyone's comparing you based off of your SAT score or your GPA or what college you go to or like how accomplished you are, right? So it's like a competitive environment. But if AI gets so good to the point that like it's just better than humans in anything, I feel like it would just like the competitive nature of humans would just disappear because like, well, this bot is better than you at everything, so there's like no point in trying to be better than other people at everything now. So like maybe people focus on the more right things in life instead of comparing at like what you're better at. The right things, like, well, that's actually maybe not the right word choice. Maybe like focus on more important things for them than just like trying to have better abilities or skills than everyone else.
Yeah. Focus on what makes them humans. Go to the bar after 8 p.m. and like hang out with your friends and like watch basketball and stuff. So
right, that's like the
yeah, that's a more real way of living. I agree. Yeah.
All right. The last section is what college is actually like. All right. So you are already done with college, so you could probably talk a lot about this because you've already had the full 4 years of college experience. But just for my background, I haven't started college yet, but I went to a program that lets me live in a college like campus for my junior and senior years of high school and take full dual credit classes. So in a way, I kind of had a college experience for the last 2 years because it was like I was a full-time student taking 17, 18, 19 credit hours a semester, and they're all full college classes, and you're living on college campus in a dorm away from your parents, right? And everything's the same. The only difference is like because we're like some of us are minors, there's like curfew at like midnight so that like people don't go drink or something, right? So there's like a little like limitations as we're still high school, right?
Yeah.
But we just basically had a college life in a little bit, in a sense, right? So
that's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just
So
I just wanted to say.
Okay. So how long were you in class every day?
How long?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the day, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think probably like 2, 3 hours, maybe, or
Yeah.
no, Yeah, I mean, it depends on the day. There were days, like if I had a chem lab day, I remember it was terrible. It was like from 5 to 9 p.m.
Mm.
It was genuinely terrible. Labs are so bad. But like some days there's only like one class for 1 hour. So I mean, that's how college is like. So, but
Okay, that is interesting then you probably did get the full college experience, or like at least a lot of it. But yeah,
well, not the
you're
full because we have
not the
limitations.
full.
We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I could tell you all about college, man. There's definitely stuff I didn't know in high school that I learned in college. So yeah, just ask away.
All right. What's the hardest class you've ever taken, and what made it so difficult for you, in your personal experience?
All right, so at Cal, there's like this weeder class that you need to take as a CS student, which is called CS 70, and
Okay.
it's called Discrete Math and Probability Theory. Okay, so despite being called CS 70, there's like very little to do with CS actually. I mean, discrete
It's like
math
all
is
math. If it's
yeah. I mean, it is
yeah.
something you should know for CS, but it's definitely like designed in a way where it's supposed to weed people out of the CS major. And I'm not gonna lie, like I've taken okay. There was like times where I'd be like staring at the notes or like the lecture notes, and it would make like as little sense to me as like hieroglyphics would. It's just like symbols on the screen where it's like I have no idea what I'm looking at. I'm just like, how am I supposed to make like it'd be like the craziest things ever. Like there would be like so many random like math symbols. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like you would see like the problem, and like I think like 50% of the symbols I wouldn't recognize, and the rest of it would just be like numbers and like I there would be stuff like delta, like I know delta, but like and like summation, right? But then there's like other ones where like it's like discrete math stuff that like I have no idea how I survived that class, but I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, because like high school and college transition is so huge compared to like the middle school and high school transition. It's like AP classes look like a joke. Like at first, I'm like, I'm taking AP World, and I'm like, oh my God, there's FRQs and DBQs and like all these hard questions. And then you go to college, and it's like complete different. Like,
Yeah, now that you
I,
say that, yeah, nothing in high school even compares. Like there's like AP Calc, but like I feel like that's pretty straightforward.
I know, yeah. Like, AP Calc BC wasn't even that bad in my opinion
Yeah.
compared to like, because when I took discrete math, it's probably not the same as yours, obviously, but like it was math 310 for us, yeah. But it was like, yeah, like as you said, there are too many symbols in discrete math,
Yeah.
right? And the exam questions are like most of the pages when he gives the paper out should be the questions, but it's like one question and then the rest of the page is blank where you have to write a full proof, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that has to come out of my head. So
Yeah.
like, like what happened to solving equations in math? Now it's like I have to be creative with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
One
like
of my yeah. Mhm.
I don't even think I can like look back at discrete math and like even know how to do it right now. It's like so not applicable to the job. But yeah.
It's applicable to theoretical mathematicians, I guess.
Yeah. Theoretical math, yeah. Well, it's a
Yeah.
good thing I'm not a theoretical mathematician.
Yeah. It was, what is it? One of my friends who was a senior and he was like going into math as his major, right? And I was like complaining to him about that none of this makes sense. Like why is like we ran out of the English alphabet, then now we're going to Greek alphabets, right? And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we will run out of Greek alphabets very soon and we will enter Hebrew." And I'm like, "What?" I thought math was numbers. Why is there letters? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
I think they might be getting close to ending the Greek alphabet at this point. There's like a symbol for everything, like physics and discrete math. So I think there is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it back then when like the only thing I knew was theta for trig. And
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the hardest class for me though, this is weird. This is very weird. It was intro bio class. It was so hard. It was like I'm taking all these other classes.
Isn't
I
that
think
like
like
freshman year?
yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the hardest class for me for some reason because the teacher was terrible. She, uh, I think she hated me. It was pretty sure she hated me because I slept during her class every time. And like it's a lecture hall like this, like a theater kind of ish, and I sat in exactly the middle of the lecture, and like in the middle of the rows too, right? And, like directly in the middle center, so she can see me. And I don't know why I sat there, but I did. But then on the first day of class, I like fell asleep, but my legs were out on both chairs in the front, and then like I was like laying down like this because like the chair could fold back, so like I was just gone, right? And I think ever since then she hated me, but yeah, but let's just say she didn't give me good grades. I ended up getting a B. It was terrible. My last semester, the only B I got was in bio, and like all my friends are like, how do you struggle with intro bio, when like you get an A in like all these other harder advanced classes.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, that was me in like Spanish too, I'm pretty sure. Like my teacher hated me so much that she gave me like a failing grade on one of the projects, and I just didn't get an A.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was funny, but that's a different story.
The teachers are like, oh, in high school at least there's some consistency, but like when you go to college, everyone's like just doing their own thing. Like my linear algebra professor, this is very weird because he's very smart because he won IMO gold medal when he was in high school, and now he's a math professor now, and he's like, his syllabus has like, it's one page, and the grading system is 4 exams, 25% each. Like there's nothing else, right?
I've seen some.
Yeah, so yeah, and I missed like the third or second exam, right? Because I like didn't show up and I forgot about it, and I was like, can I get a makeup? And he's like, for some reason he likes me. It was like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, I'll just give you 100, right? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what?
So chill.
And then my other friend who also forgot ended up getting a 0, right? So like, but then we have teachers like my bio teacher who hates me. So like, it's like every professor is so different in college. It's like
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be hard for me to. I'm gonna try to maintain a 4.0, because like there's scholarships I have to maintain at least a 3.5. So like, but like I'm gonna try to get like a 4.0 in the beginning so I can get loose towards the end at least. But like it might be hard. Who knows if I get some interesting professor.
No. I think professors are rarely like, like bad in college. I mean, I went to public school, so I didn't even interact that much with my professors, but a lot of times like.
Oh wait, is
you don't have to
Berkeley
even
public?
Yeah.
Or
It is.
oh okay. I was gonna end up applying to UCs, but they were too expensive for out of state. So but
That is true.
yeah.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. I think it's like really chill in college. Like you don't have someone like constantly looking over your shoulder. Like you don't have to be there at a specific time. Like for the most part, for lectures you don't. And,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like a lot of times I would like self-study. Like I wouldn't even show up to lectures. I mean, not everyone learns the same way, but I think college is definitely like so much more chill. Like I think I did way better in college than in high school in terms of like,
Oh yeah, the
academics.
freedom is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll move on to the next question. If you could force you went to Berkeley, so at Berkeley, let's say out of the Berkeley classes, if you could force every freshman at Berkeley to take one class, what would it be? For like their benefit, like not to torture them or anything, but like what's one class that you think is like everyone should take that's very important for them, regardless of their major or their background,
Well, I wasn't trying to torture anyone in general, but the one class I would or anything related to psychology or business marketing, I think. And I didn't realize this until recently. I used to sleep on like the marketing guys and gals, but after I started like really looking into product development and building a startup or like building something from scratch. It's one thing that AI just like doesn't get right. Like AI can do back end work and like code you an MVP, right? And like build something for you, and you just have to look at it. You don't need a class for that even. But marketing, and psychology are pretty closely linked, and AI just does not get it right. Like, you really need someone that understands like the consumer and like, you know, buyer psychology, and that's going to be very useful in the future. I think everybody's going to be looking for people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the marketing, you know. I'm still learning, you know, social media and
Yeah.
content creation. I'm still trying to figure out what we need to do to kind of appeal to the average viewer. And you can
Yeah,
ask ChatGPT all you want, but it just won't know.
Yeah, marketing is hard.
Yeah.
I don't know what videos, like some videos randomly pop, and then like
Yeah.
the ones I spend so much effort on just get like no views. And I'm
Mhm.
here like, so what did I do wrong? And it's like even if with feedback, like you reflect on your videos, like it's still hard to tell because there's like so many variables. It's not like
Yeah,
straight
yeah.
up like
There's a lot of them.
math.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like I
Sometimes
guess
it's
I
very
gotta
homeworky,
experiment.
I think. But yeah, it's like at least like you're thinking about it and learning, like not doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I've seen some of your videos. I'm gonna tell you, they're pretty interesting.
Oh, they
I
are.
find them interesting. Yeah, I watched through all of them.
I'm trying to
Yes.
squeeze out some ideas. Like,
Yeah.
you get like I saw your videos too, and they're like consistently like couple thousand views always.
Mm.
And like the good ones perform more than 10K. See, for me, the good ones perform over 1,000, and then they consistently perform only a couple hundred for me. So like, I gotta
Yeah,
like break
yeah.
that
I mean,
1,000.
I think like I didn't really follow a formula. I kind of just like saw what works. Like if you go like scroll all the way down to my beginning videos, they'd be like not even 1,000. They'd be like 100 to 200. But
Oh.
I realized that when I started making like a certain type of content, and
Mhm.
you know, I upgraded my tools. Like I got a mic. I got like, or I'm getting a was it ring light? Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, for
those
like better
things.
lighting and stuff. Like maybe people just like want to watch higher quality videos. You know, I started putting like an 8K filter, like using CapCut, and
Oh.
yeah, I think like upgrading the technology definitely would make people want to watch your videos more. But in terms of content, I realized people also like liked watching, you know, more fast paced, like not so much like me explaining something, but rather just like top five, blah blah blah, like instant reward, right? Like people like
Oh,
are
yeah.
brain rotted these days. They don't want to like sit through an entire like thing. They're just like, oh, I want it now. Like, give me like information that I can get in like 10 seconds.
And those are not as accurate as the thing. You gotta
Yeah.
like spend time looking at the.
Yeah, they're not
Oh,
as accurate, but like usually when someone actually wants like accurate information, like I get a lot of DMs about college admissions and stuff.
Mhm.
That's when like I can break it down, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Guess we'll keep working on it. I actually thought your videos were like. I was surprised because since you're like new, I like when I first you came across on my For You page somehow, because like I don't have any college stuff in my reels anymore,
Oh
because like
yeah.
college is done. But you somehow popped up, and then I looked at it and I was like, and then I was surprised because like that you were new, because like it looked like you were like doing this for like a couple years. Like the video qualities and everything, that's what it seemed like, right?
Mm,
Because if you looked at my videos, their qualities aren't exactly great, and the captions change like every time
yeah.
because I run out of like free limits or whatever, and I didn't
Okay.
know that. I would just use a different site every day for like to get those free captions, until like I figured out CapCut can just do it for you.
Yeah.
Recently,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
recently
Yeah.
learned that. I'd spam like there's every single caption is different, like it's some different weird font. But now we're going to the normal white normal white words.
Were you typing in the captions by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
mean I could show you like some random like content creation tricks that I learned. Yeah, it's a lot of just like making random videos and like seeing. But I wouldn't say like I'm like a pro, you know. I'm just like someone who's also learning. Like I started a month ago.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, yeah, we can include that like once the podcast is over and stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
let's get over with these questions. Is going to college worth it now, you think? With the increased usage of AI, will college be even useful in the future? I feel like this is a common debate, right? People are like,
Yeah.
you can search up everything. What's the point of college now?
Yeah. What was it like? Charlie Kirk's opinion? Don't go to college is.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to say college is worth it. In my industry, you see this all the time. CS degree or 5 years of experience. Okay. You don't have to have a CS degree, but 5 years of experience, can you really land your first job without a CS degree if every company is looking for someone with a CS degree or 5 years of experience, you know? And on top of this, right, landing your first job without connections in college or access to, university recruiting programs, there are a lot of those. And just like proving yourself as someone who can perform despite never having received formal education within your field is going to be hard. Okay? It's possible, but it's hard. And I think at least attending a public university is well worth the price to set yourself up for like against that disadvantage that you would have if you didn't go to college. About the education itself, it's not super important, right? AI can help you learn yourself. But it's more about like the other things, the non-quantifiable things that you get in college that will help you in your career. Have you seen the movie like The Internship?
No.
Okay. You should watch it. It's really funny. It's about like these two guys that like I think maybe their startup like went under or something, and then they have to be like 40-year-old interns at Google, and they're like
Okay.
and they're like getting bullied by all like the stuck up like Harvard like kids, like Harvard CS kids, right? And then one of the scenes is like they're like trying to team up to like see like who's gonna be on their project or something weird, and then they're just like, oh, what school did you go to? And it's like Stanford. It's like, okay, you're on our team. And it's like, what school did you go to? And the 40-year-olds are like, oh, I went to like Promoda College or something. It's like, out of here.
The way Pomona College isn't even that bad.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like so stuck up like in that movie. It's like all the interns at Google. But yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But like, it's like that, but it's like kind of worse now because the job market's already pretty cooked. Like, and if it's cooked, like, why would someone trust you over someone who's gone to college and like their story lines up with exactly how a top tier potential employee would line up, right? Like intern during college, return offer after college, received education, and is ready to join the workforce. Like everyone knows, like that's the pipeline, right? So that's just like what recruiters are biased towards. Like in order for them to give you a chance as someone who like didn't go to college, like you have to have like a convincing, like you have to stand out almost in a way. Yeah. And your question was, is college worth it? So that's why I think it's worth it. But like, do you have to go to college? No, I don't think so. And college will be useful in the future for those reasons.
Yeah. I think I agree with the part with the education because like even without AI, I mean, you have the internet and books, like you can learn just about anything by yourself without the tremendous amount of debt you go into with school. But I think one of the main benefits of college could be the fact that, I mean, you just turned 18, you're an adult now, right? But if you go to college, you'll be surrounded by people who also just turned 18 and don't know what to do about life, and you have more opportunities in a way, because if you just turned and became an adult, like most people aren't just gonna like go seek out and like they're not like all business minded where we're like, okay, I need to find all the opportunities in my life and get my life straight, right? Like that's hard to do, right? But when you're in college, they feed it to you a little bit, right? They give you the opportunities, help you out, like not as much as high school where they just like spoon feed you everything, but like in college you're still surrounded by people around who still don't know what's going on about life, and you get that like 4 years of like time to figure out like what to do with your life. So I think that's like one of the main useful parts.
Yeah, yeah, actually,
College.
yeah, that's something that I didn't bring up, but I completely agree with, you know. A lot of people just like don't really like have it figured out yet, and that's fine. College is like kind of the time to like, you know, make your own routine and like, you know, build connections and like have a friend group and like go out and like see, you know, what works for you and what doesn't. And I mean, can you do that like not going to college? I mean, you could, but um like at least college holds you to some thing you have to show up for every day, like class or like, you know, some relationships you have to maintain. And you know, the connections you build in college are like going to be your life pretty much, you know, like my friends, most of them I met in college, so that's just how it is, I think.
I think that's like common with most of the adults I've met. They're like my lifelong friends are most of them from college, like not as much from high school or below
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think college is well worth it. I think just like if you wanted to find like worth it, you know, like I think it's people should go to college. Yeah.
all right, final question to end this podcast. Imagine every high school student in America is watching this right now. What is the one piece of advice or message you would give to them?
Okay, this is a good one. So, I will say this: times are changing, and it's very important to adapt. So very soon, you know, with AI and everything that's going on with that, college counselors might be replaced. My job might be replaced. Your job also might be replaced. But the most successful people are not people who cope. Okay, they listen to a piece of advice or go over a mistake they made and they iterate. So if you're offended or distraught by AI or someone telling you you shouldn't do this, or you know this isn't working for you, you're not going to make it very far, because the most successful business owners, and this is not even for college applications, this is for just life in general, right? Someone who welcomes change, someone who welcomes the criticism and failure and, you know, not having made it the first time around. Like, especially in college applications, like when I see DMs and, you know, people ask me, blah, blah, like, how's this? And I'm like, no, that's not, I don't think you should do that. And they get offended. I'm just like, okay, this guy, like, doesn't welcome, you know, means to change. And as a content creator, right? Like, I'm not going to be offended when a video flops. You just look at it and you're like, okay, this didn't work. Let's try this next time. And the more times you do that, the more, like, on track you're going to become in your life. Like every time you make a mistake, you go over it and then you know, set up in the right direction, or you look at what's changing in the world, like AI, and you kind of like go with the flow instead of like rejecting it and coping and like going against it. Like you will be a successful person if you're able to do that. And that is my answer.
Good advice, yeah.
Yeah.
Good advice.
What about you? What is one piece of advice you would give students that are currently going, or where you were last year?
I think the size of your dreams determines your potential. So I've seen way too many people ask me like, you can't reach your goals, like it's impossible, like it's you got to stop dreaming so big, like let's think more realistically. But like, and it's like, and everyone's like, because I feel like everyone starts with the big goal or dream when you're young, but as you get older it gets smaller and smaller and your dreams get lower and lower and you're like struck with reality. But like, you don't have to. I mean, you can still dream like a child and have imaginations beyond your.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, you know, and I feel like if your dreams are bigger, right, you might not be able to reach them. But compared to the person whose dream was right here and they reached their dream, if your dream was right here but you only went to here, you went further than them at least, right? So I think don't limit your potential to like here. just put it all the way up there, and even if you never get it, you have a lot of room for constant improvement, right? So that's my advice.
Yeah. I think these days, people just don't go for stuff. Like, I agree with what you said. Like, people just like, or even if they have a dream, I see it like, especially that people like always dream, but they like don't ever like go for it, you know? Yeah. And like when you just get started, like people are gonna be like clowning you and stuff, right? But then like once you make it, they're gonna be like, oh, I knew that I was with this guy since day one, right? Like I think getting over that fear of just like getting clowned on like at the very beginning is like a lot of people just don't want to do it. And yeah, I think it's
I was actually surprised that when I first started content creation, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks, but like, the strangers on the internet are more supportive than the people I know. Like,
yeah, exactly. I think it's like jealousy, like because they know you, so they're just like more like envious of you. I think. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I'm supportive of you, man. I've always been like type of person to uplift others. You know? I think we'll go far in life. Just gotta like keep going, you know. Yeah.
your cat gives nice transitions for you every time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, she's just like, she's really curious to what I'm doing. Yeah.
What's her name?
Mimi.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any pets?
No, I don't.
No.
Yeah, we don't. No.
I
I'm
think-
allergic to cats, and dogs, unfortunately. I mean, I don't hate them, but like my parents don't let me go near them. Unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. So you're never gonna. I got this cat after college, so yeah. I couldn't do it in college and in high school. It's also I like sibling is allergic, but I do not have that curse. Isn't there a thing where like exposure therapy or something where you like tolerate it after a certain time?
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Yeah, but I'm too lazy to go through all that right now. I have too many things going on.
That's true. Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get a pet in college. I think. It's like,
Oh yeah, that's too. Yeah. All right, we're already like 1 hour and 42 minutes in. I think we had a long session.
Long time. Yeah. No, it was nice talking to you. You know, it's very interesting. I think. Yeah. Let's just follow up over. Wait, should we end this here? Is there a conclusion? All right.
Thank you for watching the podcast, guys.
Yeah,
if you even watched it to the end.
Yeah. You know, if you're seeing this right now, congratulations to you. Maybe you'll see us on the news one day. If not, then hopefully you got something out of this. And we'll see you guys next time.